Good morning, guys. Welcome to Math Today. Today, we are moving on to dividing with fractions. So for this lesson today, all you will need is this page right here. And we'll go ahead and fill out our table of contents. So we will flip to that. And on page 41, we are going to write dividing with fractions. Okay. And then we will flip back to our page 41. You're going to go ahead and cut this page out and paste it down. All right, so now that that's pasted down, let's go ahead and take a look at our page. So our learning objective for the day is I can divide fractions by whole numbers and whole numbers by fractions. So we are hoping to be able to do it both ways, so fractions by whole numbers and whole numbers by fractions. And in order to do that, let's look at our 5 steps. So step 1, you're going to keep the fraction the same. So here where we see 2/3, that's just going to stay 2/3. Step number 2, you're going to change your division sign to multiplication. So as you see here, our division sign went to multiplication. Our next step is to change the whole number to a fraction. So a reminder, anytime you have a whole number, you can show it in fraction form by putting it over 1. So if this whole number was a 6, you would write 6 over 1. If it was 100, you'd write 100 over 1. Any whole number is over 1 in fraction form. So now that we've converted our whole number to a fraction, we now see that our problem goes 2/3 times 2 over 1. Our step 4 says find the reciprocal of the second fraction. And the word reciprocal is just a fancy way of saying you're going to flip your fraction. So as you see here, you have 2 over 1, and in this step you have 1 over 2. So the reciprocal, all you'll do is just flip your fraction. Your numerator goes on bottom, your denominator goes on top. Then, step 5, you'll find the product and find simplest form. So again, they just multiply across. 2 times 1 equals 2. 3 times 2 equals 6. 2 and 6 both have a 2 that can be taken out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay. Now, if that sounds a little confusing, that's okay. We will keep practicing. But let's go ahead and look at these problems and work it out. Okay. So, step 1, we're going to keep our fraction the same. So 5 over 6 will stay the same. Step 2 is to change our division sign to multiplication. Step 3, we'll change our whole number to a fraction. Now, it's very important that you find the reciprocal. So 5 over 6 times, flip these two like this, times 1 over 3. Now, if you want to make sure that you don't forget to find the reciprocal, I might even leave my division sign until I get my reciprocal, just so I know in my head that I don't multiply yet. I only multiply once I have the reciprocal. Okay? So now I'll multiply across. 5 times 1 equals 5. 6 times 3 equals 18. All right. And that can't simplify any further, so that is my answer. So let's look at our next problem. 3/4 divided by 2. My fraction will stay the same, and I'll convert my whole number to a fraction. So now I have 3/4 divided by 2 over 1. I keep my fraction the same, my division turns to multiplication, and I find my reciprocal. I flip that fraction. Okay, now I'll just multiply across. 3 times 1 equals 3. 4 times 2 equals 8. Okay, and that is the only page that we will do for today because we are going to spend some time practicing doing fractions by whole numbers. So you will have a practice assignment to continue working with these types of problems. If you have any questions, you can always come to the 1 o'clock. Otherwise, have a great day.